Hello and welcome to Against the Fence. My name's Sai, this is Ash, and we are here to deliver for you guys Makhachev versus Volkanovski, UFC 294. Once again, they're running it back. This has happened once before. Of course, it was quite a controversial decision. A lot of people thought that Volkanovski should have taken it before. And other people think that the rightful champ remained the champ. This is quite big as well, because bear in mind, Makhachev hasn't really defended much in his own weight class. He's not really fought many people in his own division, and he's holding the belt. He's fought more people in a different division than he has his own, which is a bit of a wild dynamic, something we haven't really been used to before. But quick question for you, Ash. Is this the fight you didn't realize that you wanted?
I still would have preferred Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
Just because that fight is a little bit, in my eyes, a little bit bigger. I think, obviously, if Volkanovski hadn't obviously fought Makhachev the first time, then 1,000% classic. I would have actually, this fight would have been what I wanted. But just because of what Charles Oliveira has been doing, he's been finishing dudes. I know, obviously, Islam finished him like straight away, but it's just Charles Oliveira, isn't it? So he's always game as they come. I would have liked to have seen it, but again, I speak about game as you come. Volkanovski's game as you come. So he's got nothing to lose really in this fight. I can guarantee you now, Dana has got some sort of agreement with Volkanovski. Even if he loses this one 2 years down the line or a year and a half down the line, he'll have another crack at it just because he stepped up on short notice for this fight.
Yeah, you're probably right. But here's the next question for you, though. Do you reckon that Charles Oliveira, in an ideal world, gets better, comes back around, of course, but do you feel like he has a better chance against a Volkanovski if he takes the belt, or Makhachev?
Charles Oliveira. I'll tell you what, mate. That's actually a very good question.
Stylistically, what do you reckon?
I don't know, because Volk's quick, isn't he? So I don't know if that would cause Charles some problems. I don't know, because I think if it gets into them grappling exchanges, like we did see when obviously Islam fought Charles, Islam's just going to be too big and too strong for him. But I think Volkanovski could cause Charles Oliveira some problems. So that's an interesting question, mate.
Yeah, look, it's out there, but this is why we have these conversations. This is why we do what we do. You know, the whole idea here is to really bring those conversations around the UFC, get things stirring, and just kind of find out what we think is going to happen. For those of you guys that are new, of course, to this part of the show, this is the UFC breakdown event where we will be talking about all of the fights up here on the card. On the main event, of course, going from who's got the advantage in which rounds or in which particular fights, and who we think is going to be winning or taking the W, basically. So, look, it's quite exciting because I always get like a whole new, fresh wave of clarity when I do these things. Do you, Ash? Ask you questions, you ask me questions, the audience chime in, get me thinking differently, you know?
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing, mate. Like, it gets you thinking that there's certain aspects of the game where someone in the chats may bring to play, or you may bring to play, that we didn't know about certain fighters, and then it makes you go, "Oh, hang on a minute!" Like, it's good that we've sort of brought that up. But as we're speaking about that, welcome in Raphael. He's chimed in, says, "Yo, what's up, fellas? Salute." So welcome in, Raphael.
Salute. What's up, Raphael? Welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you.
Hope you're doing well, sir.
All right, good. I always love to see Raphael. How's things? He's always a good conversationalist, is what you call him. Shall we get into the card, Ash?
Yeah, let's go for it, mate.
Now, how do you want to do this? You want to go top down or bottom up?
We go bottom up.
Bottom up, yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, that patched through the wrong card entirely. Bottom up. Okay, so who's going to be first up on the card?
We've got Nurmagomedov versus Gafurov, if I've pronounced that correctly.
Gafurov,
Muin, Gafurov. I've done quite well.
Give you that.
Whilst that's there, Imran Khan is in the chats. Welcome in, Imran Khan.
What's up, Imran?
Sir. Hopefully that will pop up in a minute now. And
it's shown,
you'll see that. There it is there. I hope you're doing well. It keeps coming up with the other thing for some reason. But anyway, it come up.
Yes, it worked. It worked fine. Hey man, welcome into the channel. Welcome to ATF. Welcome to the conversation. This is where we're going to be talking about every fight on the main card, who's got the advantages of winning, and who's going to probably how they're going to do it as well. We'd love to have your input as well. So if you're going to talk stylistically, we want to hear your comments. Put them in the chats. We'll put them on the screen as well. But yeah, like I said, first fight up. Now, the UFC website's been giving me a little bit of jip in the sense that some of these are not going to stretch fully. For some strange reason, I don't know. It's not giving me the full rundown on the cards. It's been very buggy this whole entire week.
That's disgraceful, isn't it?
It is. But it's not to worry because we have knowledge.
Science.
We have science. What's that? What does Sadiq say? Did you see his new video this week?
I have seen it. Yeah, I have seen it. Yeah,
cracks me up.
It was a good one.
I had to pop a comment on there for him just to say, man, it was class. It was class. Okay, so the first fight up on the card, and we can't stretch it out too much, but we'll be able to give you a bit of a rundown. Ash was what Ash is going to do is going to have the Wikipedia there to kind of give us the numbers of each of these fighters that we're going to be looking at. I'll give you a bit of a background on the fighting style, and of course some of the odds we're looking at here too. But first up we've got the straight out of Russia, like Dagestani style. It's Nurmagomedov, and he's going to be against Muin Gafurov, and he is Tajikistan, which is actually harder to say than his name, funny enough. Imagine that. Imagine that. Now, if we're going to apply the science to this that Sadiq has, he said anyone who has a full hair of beard but no mustache on this card is a guaranteed win. Put the house on it. $6 trillion. If you're going to bet conservatively, it's $67 trillion, basically, is what we're looking at. So, look, it's pretty decent. And
I've got that money in my back pocket, so yeah.
What, pocket change? Come on,
yeah,
man.
That's pocket change, mate. You know what I mean?
Got more than that, surely.
I'm going to bet 2 Lamborghinis on that, mate. You know what I mean?
Honestly, he's too great. One of the best. But yeah, so look, we've got this whole first fight on the card. Stylistically, you're looking at a 2-time combat sambo champ, and that's going to be in Gafurov, so the Tajikistan. And then, of course, on the other side, you've got like a kicking striker, stand-up striker, kickboxer inside the Nurmagomedov. So it's strange with Said because he's from the area, Russia, Dagestan. You would expect to have that kind of sambo style, fighting style that everyone out of that area has. But he does it differently, and he does it well as well. Like he's a problem on the feet. He's a problem with his kicks. Do you think that Gafurov is going to be able to get close enough to get a takedown, nullify that long range? You can imagine, of course, you've got the long range striker against someone who's going to want to get it in tight and get it in close. What's your take on this? Is he going to manage to do it? Have you seen much skill from Gafurov?
Yeah, I've not seen much tape on Gafurov just yet, but like you've said, we've seen it in the past. We saw it last event. We saw that kicks play so much dividends in certain fights, and Said Nurmagomedov's obviously he's fought Jonathan Martinez before, and that was actually a very, very close fight between them two. And I'll tell you what, I think Said Nurmagomedov wins in every aspect of martial arts in this fight. I think he's got better striking, better kicks, better grappling. I think he wins in all aspects in my eyes in this fight.
You got the fighters' histories there, don't you? So in terms of the level of competition Nurmagomedov has gone up against and Gafurov's gone up against, Gafurov's just come off a debut, hasn't he? So he's quite a new entrant to the scene. He put up a good fight, did he not? Could have knocked down late in round 1, but yeah.
He's fought John Lineker. That's a good feather in his cap to fight John Lineker. But other than that, Said Nurmagomedov's fought.
He's done the names, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So you would really think it's something like, the odds look at that, it's minus 185 to 154. That would be quite interesting to be able to pull up here and look at deeper into their stats. I guess you got 4 wins by knockout. Here's a little bit here. Wins by submission, first round finishes. He's got like 8 of them. And if you go over to, I'm not sure we'll get much on Gafurov, but yeah, he's got a lot of wins by knockout, 4 by submission.
He does have actually a finish rate. He has a very good. He has a couple of first round finishes as well. So his finish sort of rate is very good.
For him, it really depends on getting in close and being quite physical, isn't it?
Yeah, and Said Nurmagomedov's one for trying spinning artillery and trying things from distance. And like you said, he's got a very orientated kicking game. So
Gafurov's got some spinning artillery as well, Interestingly enough. Yeah, we've seen some of that in the tape historically. All right, so let's get to the gauges and find out how this is going to match up. So if we're looking at these 2 fighters on the card, there they are at the bottom. Striking, who do we give it to? I'm inclined to go to Said.
Yeah, same. Just because he mixes it up more.
He does. He's got a variety of weapons, and his stance switches kind of adds to that too.
Yes. Yeah.
Grappling wise, I think we could look at what it says on paper, and I'll
still stick with Said, but who's you going to pick in that one? Khan.
Yeah, I was going to go with Muin. Yeah, Muin Gafurov. Yeah,
I think I was reading Imran Khan's message. And you go with Khan. So Khan, mate, you get grappling, mate. Well done, Imran Khan.
Go on. If you look at, for example, Gafurov, he's got 7 submission wins to Said's 5. Oh, is it 5 or it's 5? And then, but also he's a 2-time sambo champion as well. So he's got that pedigree. It's on paper. And I think in terms of, yes, the knockouts from side, they do tend to come from stand-up attacks. But with Gafurov, ground and pound is how he likes to do it too. And that does take some wrestling to get to that point. Whilst they are knockouts, some Tigos come from having that sort of position, ground and pound. So, but then power. Do we go with what's on paper and go with whoever's got the highest amount of knockouts? And we've got to go Gafurov on paper. 10 knockouts.
Yeah, he's got a few knockouts. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then speed, side
for me, yeah.
Cardio, though. Oh, I've seen side go
speaking
the
of
distance.
cardio, I'm just going to get a quick comment up while you said that, just because Imran Khan has said Said's he's good, but he suffers in cardio.
He does.
So Said gets grappling, and you get cardio. Well done, Imran Khan.
Yeah, nice, man.
For you, mate.
Yeah, well said, man. But to tell you the truth, I've seen some of the fights from Said Nurmagomedov, and yes, he kind of fatigues a little bit towards the end. He's still sharp, he's still fast, but you can see him taking deep breaths, and cardio is getting to him. Defensively is what lets him down, but offensively, he's still quick and dangerous when cardio kicks in. So, look, his takedowns will be easier and all sorts. I haven't seen much tape on Gafurov. He's still too quite new. Got need some help from the chats on this one, but Imran, what are you saying? Would you give it to Gafurov? Would you reckon, Ash?
What's that for cardio? Yeah, give it to Gafurov for me.
Yeah,
but then again, I've seen more of Said going 3 rounds though. So
I have. It's a tough one.
He does tire, but like I've seen him go 3 rounds more than I have Gafurov. So
yeah, look, guys, it's a hard one, but it wouldn't be silly to give cardio to both of them for want of just one of them really showing them that they can go the distance and do it well. But look, final narrative on this one. I think it's going to be a stand-up distance, keeping your distance, a leg kicking affair from Said. He's going to have to watch those leg kicks because Gafurov can use them to grab and get in close.
100%, yeah.
But Gafurov needs to be getting inside, going backwards, fundamentally. Because
exactly. It's like what we was explaining about. I can't remember what fight we were saying about. It might have even been the Sadiq versus Barbosa. You put Barbosa on the back foot, he can't get off his kicking game, he can't get off his strikes. Yeah. And I think it's exactly the same with Said Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
You put him on the back foot, he doesn't do as well. He's still talented, don't get me wrong.
He is, yeah.
It's the same as when he fought Jonathan Martinez, because they were both literally from distance kicking each other, and it was the grappling. That fight turned into a grappling affair just because they were both cancelling each other out and striking.
I tend to find people who can strike going backwards tend to also be people who can switch different stances too. And if you have the gift of being able to do that, then striking backwards is quite exceptional for him too.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, cool. Let's get into the next fight up on the card then, and let's see where we're at. So, middleweight division, we have Ikram Aliskerov, and he's going to be against Warlley Alves. Alves.
Interesting fight, because obviously Alvarez coming off a loss, but I think they're just trying to give this Aliskerov a fight.
Yeah.
Because he's quite hyped, isn't he? He's coming off 2 losses.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then jumps into a straight main card. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, here I was thinking that, this kind of card is going to give the opportunity as much as possible to the people from the area. A lot of Russians here on the card, but fundamentally they are Dagestani in style. Yes. And I think that when they looked at who they want to put in the card, they said, does he have a mustache? No? Check. Does he have a beard? Yes? Whack him on.
I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to have to do that, Ben, so I'll send it to him.
What's that? Oh, you're going to do everyone with a beard? Yeah. You're going to put 67 trillion on it.
Well, I don't know about that. I'll put £6 on it, but not.
I thought he was going to say more. Don't bet conservatively. Bet wisely.
Please gamble responsibly. I know I'm laughing, but
odds in this one, right? Plus 100 for the Russian Ikram, and then for the Brazilian Warlley, you're looking at the favorite, minus 120. Do you know much about these guys? Do you think that's retrospective of their skills?
But who's favorite? So, what, Ikram's favorite? Yeah.
No, Warlley Alves is favorite.
No, surely not.
I know, that's what I would have thought, but
no, you're telling me Porky Pies.
He's favorite.
He's not. Alves is not favorite.
Alves here, okay, well, perhaps he's not, but the UFC are giving me number-wise, he's minus 220, and then you got Ikram at plus 100. Don't blame me, man, blame the UFC.
Yeah, that is disgraceful.
It doesn't seem right, does it? I would have thought it'd be the other way around. I'm going to have to look at some other odds or sites for it.
I'm just logging into my Sky Bet now.
Putting the house on it in that case. So.
I was like,
look,
mate,
you sound confident on Ikram, and I don't think it's silly. I don't think it's silly to say so, but
if he's
An overdog you put in the house. But what's
Yeah, he's 1-6. Ikram is. Joey Alves. Warlley Alves is 4-1. Yeah,
okay.
massive underdog. Warlley Alves is.
Yeah. No, look at this, man. Look at
That's
this.
disgraceful.
Well, you think it should go the other way? You reckon that Ikram's got more of a shot in this one? You seem surprised.
Yeah.
So what's your narrative? How's it going to play out? Is it the strength in the wrestling? Is it going to be his ability to crack? He had an amazing knockout with Phil Hawes, if you saw that one.
Yes,
straight 1-2 down the pipe and sent him to sleep.
Unbelievable knockout.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think. But then again, I know Alvarez is going to be desperate because obviously he needs a win coming off them 2 losses. But the only way I can see Alvarez getting it done is just purely if he starts using his grappling.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if it takes him down, smothers him, then I think that's his way to win.
Yeah, look, I think that could be a decent opportunity for it. But it's also a middleweight debut for Alves as well tonight.
There you go. Again, that's an even worse thing because he's been fighting a welterweight. If he's moving up to middleweight, that is all right. I'll take it back. Ikram's going to destroy him.
You're pretty certain on it now,
yeah.
Because it's a different thing. Yeah, he wasn't the powerfulest welterweight either. So if you're asking whether his power is going to transcend, what power was there in the first place? You know.
Yeah, you're right.
But looking here, you got 5 knockouts for Ikram, 5 submissions for Ikram, and 6 round finishes as well. I mean, the guy's pretty much 5-5-5. It's pretty close to. It's safe to say he's a very well-rounded fighter. His submission threat is as bad as his knockout threat, as much as cardio to get the decisions done. If you look at for Warlley Alves, he doesn't win many decisions. No, sorry, we was looking at first round finishes even. You're looking at he's got 4 knockouts and he's got 7 wins by submission. But you think
I think this is path to victory for Alvarez could wrap up a submission.
Okay.
I think he's got a black belt, right?
Alves?
Yeah.
He has, yes, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. Then you got
because we've not seen Ikram tested off his back. Well, obviously with it just one fight, obviously in the UFC, obviously I have to do a bit more tape on him beforehand. But
he is
I've
a
not really
4-time world champion combat sambo.
There you go.
Martial artist.
I don't think we're going to see him off his back, and I think if Alvarez has a path to victory, I think it's going to be in the grappling.
Yeah.
But when I mean grappling, I don't mean takedowns wise. I mean on the mat grappling.
Here's the thing as well. I'm not sure if you've got the wikis there for these guys to look at notable wins and losses. Ikram is someone who's only ever lost 2. I'll give you one guess. He's fighting tonight on the card as well.
Yes, I just see that. Yeah.
Khamzat Chimaev. Like the guy, and that's not even awful. You know what I mean? It's like, naturally, you lost to Khamzat Chimaev. You're forgiven. But ultimately, the guy's been decent through and through all competition. Has he got a lot of decisions as well, Ikram? He's not too exciting in terms of...
No, but then again, you like saying this, look at the UFC experience that Alvarez has. He's fought on some names. He's fought Kobe Covington.
How old is he now?
Joban. Fought on Brian Barberena, sorry. He's fought Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
He's fought James Krause, Randy Brown.
Yeah. Look, he's gone through it.
Top names.
Yeah, he's certainly gone through it. He certainly has. There's loads of people there he's been up against. And he's done it at like such a high standard as well. But look, how old is the guy? He's what, 39, 40 now?
Alvarez. Ooh.
Surely not. Who was I thinking of previously?
He was born in 1991, so yeah.
Oh, okay, right. So
quick maths.
He's like 32, 33, basically.
Just a quick comment from Imran Khan. He says Ikram was a student of Khabib's dad. Oh, okay.
Yes, he was. Look, he that's another thing. Like the guy trains with Islam Makhachev. He was got obviously close ties with Khabib himself as well. So look, he's got those family ties to he's got a direct line to if you want to talk about it to greatness. So look, there's high prospects for this guy. The odds here suggest that he hasn't got much of a chance. I think he does, but when I looked at the tape, I put it down to his ability to find the range and Warlley's lack of ability to get out of range. Warlley is someone who's a bit of a what is the thing I said earlier in the week? He's like a antagonist. Like the guy comes forwards with like the hope to be aggressive. And he's not really defensively
bound,
exactly pugnacious in a way. Yeah, he just wants to put it better. And when he comes into range, one of the issues is he doesn't get out of range quick enough. And I feel that's where the opportunities for Ikram would be. Just catch them and just respond to the power. So if we get the gauges up and really look into how these guys are matching up, then I would probably say
that is very true. Just to touch on before you get on to the old points gauges, sorry. It was meant to be fighting Imavov, wasn't he? So again, that fight would have obviously been 100% better. And obviously, there's me saying why is Alves on the main card? He's probably the only one that accepted this on short notice, if you know what I mean. So I take that back. But Nasruddin Imavov would have been such a great fight because we know how good and talented Imavov is, and he's quite a high level striker himself, and he likes to put the pressure on. He's always on the front foot.
Yes.
That would have been an interesting one.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that would have been fairly decent, actually. Stylistically, that would have been a quite a good matchup. And look, this guy steps in last minute notice, and he's a favorite. So it's interesting. I reckon there's some things at work there because people are looking to cash out. I'm sure. But look, maybe I'll eat my words. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. All right. So what we got here then? We're looking at the striking for...
I'm going to give it Ikram.
Ikram, yeah? All right, cool. Grappling ability.
Alves.
Yeah, okay. I feel like...
But I know Ikram's got the old Sambo and things like that. But I think if anyone's going to use it more, I think it's going to be Alves.
Yeah, I think fighting style-wise as well, whilst Ikram's got it in his back pocket, it's very much in his back pocket, not front of mind.
Yes, yeah, true.
I feel like Alves might be turning to it a little bit more. Power-wise, now they say power is the last thing to go. We learned that Alves isn't actually that old himself. But the way that Ikram touched Philip Horst...
Yeah, that's devilishing power.
Yeah, and it even seemed like it was just so fast as well.
That's what I mean. I watched the replay. It was like it barely touched it, but it was just pinch perfect. So
absolutely. All right, so we want to go power to Ikram there. And I'll probably give him speed as well, just for the sake of what he dealt out that time.
Yeah.
Cardio, I'd be happy to go to Alves. He's showed us more.
Yeah, he's shown us more, yeah.
You know, he's gone the distance. And he's just got an output still. Whilst he might be showing signs of fatigue, he still has the output. And that's what's important with cardio as well. Like, are you going to still keep throwing? Because chances are your opponent's also quite gassed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you still have that output and that heart to keep throwing at that time? Is that retrospective of what you would go with as well, Ash, on the night?
Yeah. I'll go Ikram on the night as well.
Not hard to see how he's the underdog, but look,
on all betting sites, his favorite.
Oh, is it? Okay, well that'll be why then. It's just the UFC a bit behind. No surprise there.
Yeah.
No surprise there. All right, let's have a look at what's next on the card. This one is actually working.
Next.
This card's coming up, We've got Magomed Ankalaev, and he's fighting Johnny Walker. This is a light heavyweight bout. I've been watching this tape backwards and forwards for a number of times, looking at Ankalaev, looking at his history. The guy really hasn't lost. He hasn't really lost, has he? Let's be honest. He hasn't.
But he has.
No, but he hasn't really been beaten up. He hasn't really been... I mean, his biggest test was against Jan Blachowicz in his last time out. Yeah. That was for sure. They went the distance. You could probably argue how he got the win in that fight or how he got lost. I don't know. It was incredibly tight and close. Obviously not something that most of the UFC wanted for the sake of...
No, it was a draw, wasn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. And a belt was needed to be taken. But look, before that, who did he lose to? Oh, you mean Paul Craig? Who he was battering until the very last 5 seconds of that round.
The game's the game, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what I mean? He had the whole fight from start to stop, full utter domination, and in the very last 10 seconds, he got his arm caught in an arm bar, and he had to tap out.
He panicked.
It was wild. Yeah, it was wild. And he kind of took it like so calmly as well. Like, you're not mad? He nearly had a completely unscathed record, bar that. And look, I'm sure he got some lessons from it and everything else, but I think that should still stand. Like, yes, it looks like a loss in the card, but did he really get beaten up? Look at the context of that fight. He had it all under control till he, won tiny mistake.
Yeah.
But then when you look at Johnny Walker, who's just matured, right? He
has. Yeah,
someone
perfect word for it.
Yeah, he used to be wild, used to throw lots, and we used to be worried about what kind of playful, childish Johnny Walker we're going to get this time.
Yeah.
And, you know, he certainly has matured and he's got a bit more sense, more measured in his striking at least.
Yeah, 100%. He's more of a, what's the word? More of a structure to his game plan, more of
balance, right?
Yeah, he's just got.
Do you think it's enough?
Mature is a perfect word for it.
It is. Do you think it's enough?
Not against Ankalaev,
no. Yeah. Where do you think the trouble? Okay, what's the biggest danger that Johnny Walker's going to bring to this fight? Do you think?
I actually don't know.
Yeah. Do you know what?
This is the thing. If he was to go back to the old Johnny Walker,
go
back to the old Johnny Walker, then I might think, you know what, he's got a chance here. But if he goes back to the old traditional sort of, because he doesn't put any pressure on, he's more just sort of upright on his strikes, and it can only get you so far, right?
Yeah. Do you know what? In your answer with I don't know, I think you've actually answered it, because I think the answer is unpredictability. Yeah. Is what you don't know. It's the things you can't quite predict. I reckon, he could have some power in his hands, and look, I think if he brings that unpredictability, it's the best chance. But that's just a wild card, isn't it? Yeah. It's just a wild card. It's gonna have those...
There's a massive factor in this fight, and that's going to be Ankalaev's wrestling. I think if Ankalaev can take him down, Johnny Walker will not have an answer for it.
Here's one thing we've got to talk about, actually. What was exposed in his last time out against Jan Blachowicz? What exposed? We saw
leg kicks.
Exactly. We saw an Achilles heel to Ankalaev last time out, and it was in those leg kicks. His legs got completely compromised. Now he could catch him from Johnny Walker.
Has bricks for legs.
He does. He just doesn't feel the pain. They went shin to shin, and it was Ankalaev who really hurt his ankle. But yeah, look, is that a blueprint that Johnny Walker can pull off? Could he do that?
It could start throwing it. We've seen him throw leg kicks in the past. So again, it could be a game plan. Obviously, I will repeat myself again, as I said earlier. It's such a game changer. I know, obviously, it's always been there, isn't it? The calf kicks and inside leg kicks. So it's interesting. I think that could be another way of path to victory. Beat him from the bottom up. So.
Yeah, look, that could be it too. The difficult thing with Johnny Walker is he's built a little bit upside down. So if you look at the leg reach, if you look at the leg reach, it's not more than Ankalaev's. But if you look at the arm reach, it's significantly more. It's got like 82 inches reach over Ankalaev 75. You know, so you're talking here about another 7 inches on top of him. So it would suggest that he would have more chances for landing with the hands. But what we want from him is to be landing more with the legs. Yeah. You know, but look, fundamentally, he is someone who is dangerous in the striking, unpredictable in the striking. He's better to catch his opponents.
Of course, you're right. He's unpredictable, and this is the thing. I jump back to what I said a second ago. I think if this was a Johnny Walker of old, where he was elusive and got capoeira, sort of the way he was, and flying knees and spinning artillery. Yeah, I think you never know. He could have a bit of a chance, but like I said, I think if Ankalaev takes him down, I think it's game over.
It'll be a
quick couple of chats before.
Go on. Yep.
Raphael says Johnny Walker has the striking. He defied
the physics. Yeah,
that's the one. Defy the physics every time that he fights. Yeah, you're 100% right, Raphael.
It just doesn't make sense for the guy, does it? But it just makes it work. It makes it work.
Imran Khan says for the Dagestani and Anka has 0 submission game.
Yeah.
It's true. Mate, you're 1,000% right there, mate. Yeah.
You know, go down to the ground with a guy and you'd have to worry about getting submitted. But, you know, he does dominate those positions.
Yeah.
Yeah. More or less wins most rounds where he finds the ground, you know, just because he's such an oppressive force on top.
There it is. It's taken ages for these comments to appear. So I've got the actual YouTube chat on the left, and then the one I click on the right, and it's coming up quicker on the actual chat. So again, if you do comment and I don't click on it, it's just a little bit of a delay. But welcome in, TMM, and you are the man that was a couple of weeks ago now that comes in with such knowledge and gives us all the pointers. So again, welcome back in, sir.
We're back.
You're doing well.
It's another pay-per-view night, UFC 294. I'm glad you're here, man. Thanks so much for chiming in. We'd love to get some more of your thoughts here on the channel as we go through these cards. But yeah, I think what we're just touching on here is, yes, you got the reach advantage for Johnny. Is he going to use it? Should he use it? I mean, we
should, yeah.
We saw that the leg kicks from Blachowicz were troublesome for Ankalaev. Should he follow that same blueprint? Can he pull it off? And then alternatively to that, Magomed Ankalaev is probably someone who might want to, if the striking does get a bit much, pin him up against the cage, try work those positions, get him on the ground, just be overly physical.
Yeah.
But we did see him adapt quite a bit with that Jan Blachowicz fight, and I think that is just the making of a champion. Someone who's able to be in a difficult situation, assess the dangers, and adapt to it. So,
100%, yeah.
For me, I think whatever Johnny Walker is going to bring to this fight, Magomed Ankalaev is going to be able to see it, adapt to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it is going to be, the hands are going to be too much for him, he's going to find a way to hold him up against the cage or get him to the ground. If not that, it's going to be like the counter strikes. Johnny Walker's a good counter striker, but then also so is Ankalaev. I'm not sure who's going to want to go first in this, but
that's a very good point. Yeah, I think Magomed will. Quick comment from TMM before you get it. I've got the wrong one up. Sorry.
No worries.
Mine's gone. Can you read that for me?
Yeah, sure. Unilife has stunted the grind, but 294 is more important than any educational commitments. Hey, man.
Sorry, I clicked on the wrong. It's very slow for me. I do apologize.
That's cool. Let's clip that a little bit up and just send it to all of our primary schools in the area so they know fighting is where it's at.
Yaski's welcome back in, sir. Hope you're doing well. The heart
yes.
says Johnny Walker, but my brain says Ankalaev.
Yes. I hear you.
I hear you, yes.
What is it about Johnny Walker that's taken all of our hearts? What is it about this guy? Is it the childishness of him and seeing it? Is it like watching your child grow up? Is that why? Is it because we've seen him go from childish to adulthood in the space of 3 years?
And do you know, like, obviously you have side cam. Do you remember that when he was on the stall? And he looked to the left and smiles. That's it. Still gets me to this day. It's literally like you with your side cam.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey. He's a funny guy. Yeah, he's just a regular guy. And I think that's what's really cool. You can see some humanity in him. All right, let's look at striking. So we had, was it Khan who said that he wants striking to go to Johnny Walker?
Well, I can't remember now.
Someone's mentioned just a bit earlier up. Reason being, it is quite dangerous. Let's have a quick look. I think he gets most.
Oh, yeah, has the striking, yeah.
Yeah.
He said he has the striking, but does he get it though? I think if he's going to get anything in this, it's going to be striking. I'll agree.
Yeah, because he lands.
But no,
he lands more per minute. He also has more knockouts by percentage-wise. He's got 76% of his finishes by knockout to 56. And he's got obviously a higher finishing rate there as well. Around the same kind of less fight time, but we'll go with that. And then, of course, we can comfortably say grappling will go to Ankalaev because he uses
grappling
it.
will go to Ankalaev.
Whilst he hasn't got any other submissions there, he does use a grappling and he uses it far more to his advantage. Power, though, on paper, it would suggest Walker.
I would say Walker on this as well. Do you have the fighters up as well?
The fighters, yes. Oh, on the no, I don't have it. The UFC doesn't have the drop down for it.
No, I mean the little images.
Yeah.
They're not from UFC. They're not from UFC, mate. Come on, Mr. Brown.
Little images. What do you mean?
Like obviously the fighters that we usually put at the bottom, so then they know who we're talking about.
Oh yeah, no. And these ones, they don't come through.
No, it's disgraceful.
Yeah, mate. Check the site. It's buggy. So we've got about 2 of them on here that won't come up, but then the other 3 will. And then you've got.
Yeah, so we're still talking about Ankalaev and Johnny Walker.
Yes, exactly. And now looking at speed, who's going to be fastest?
I'd say Johnny Walker.
Yeah, speed to Johnny Walker. Ooh. And then cardio. I'm happy to go Ankalaev on that.
Yeah, cardio Ankalaev. Yeah, all day.
Yeah. Now, Ankalaev is relatively fast. He was faster. Do you know what? Speed, I might be hesitant to be confidently on Johnny Walker because Ankalaev was fast against Jan Blachowicz. He was rapid. Blachowicz had speed, and Blachowicz was particularly worried about Blachowicz had power, but was particularly worried about the speed of Ankalaev. And I think he still brings it to this fight. He's not slow, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I agree.
He's not slow. And Johnny Walker's relatively long. His hands have to travel a bit of a further distance.
Yeah.
You know, that wouldn't look too silly if we had that, speed going to both sides because Ankalaev's not slow. Help us out on that one, guys. Who do you think speed should go to, or is giving it both?
Speaking of helping out, we've got one there from TMM. It says, do either of you think that Magomed will get a title shot with a win over Johnny Walker, but it's by snooze fest
decision? Good question.
I'm just trying to think who's above him, because obviously,
I think yes, because the fight against Yair Blachowicz, there's an argument that he should have edged it and should have won. He just looked good in the latter rounds. And also, if you look at his records, as boring as you want to call it, he has not lost. You know, the guy's adaptable. He's got championship qualities. I think it's hard to deny him. You know, he's just been winning throughout. Yeah, okay, he lost to Johnny, to Paul Craig, but, you know, the point of that is he actually won the whole entire fight until the very last minute, you know? Till the very last minute.
So I'm just trying to think who's above him, but obviously you've got, what about, Jan lost, didn't he? So yeah, arguably, yes. Yeah, no, you're right, because obviously Alex Pereira beat Blachowicz, didn't he? So yeah, I think if he does, I think he's got to be there, because then Yuri or Alex Pereira, I agree. Yeah, if
he's got to be there.
Wins, he fights,
he's got to be there.
Yeah, agree.
He's, you know, he is pound for pound. If you're looking at, okay, so that wouldn't really make too much sense, would it? But in terms of like stats wise, he is the best fighter in this division in the sense that he's lost a lot less than anyone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
So in that terms, you know, he's got to be in line for it. He's ready for it. But then, yeah, you know, there's some dogs up there, so I'll have to see it plan out. What's going to be more exciting fight? I don't know. Him against Yuri, him against Jamal Hill.
Yeah.
What's going to be more exciting?
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what's going to happen with Jamal Hill. But anyway, TMM says speed for Johnny unless it's for the counter striking. Magomed, when he counters,
it's like a bullet.
It's like a bullet, which is very true. I agree. Sometimes, like we were saying earlier, like Johnny Walker, he's like, Sai used the perfect word for him. Like he's matured to what he used to be, like the sort of freestyle, sort of free flowy, flying knees,
wild card, that
artillery, and exactly, yeah. And then Jasky says Walker is faster in my opinion, just because of those fast twitch muscle fibers.
Yeah,
and the numbers for Walker's speaks for itself.
Yeah, no, he's got muscle
fibers.
He does land more per minute. Significant strikes is up there as well, quite on par with Magomed Ankalaev. You could make an argument for both, and I think that kind of puts up, you know, speed is there for Magomed. Counter ability wise, it's rapid. And of course, against Jan Blachowicz, that was one of the biggest things Jan was aware of, the speed of Magomed. He recognized it, and it was a serious threat. And if it's a threat for him, he was at the top of the division, then it could be also a threat for Johnny. But not to call it either for these guys slow. I'm happy with that. Where are you going on tonight? Who do you sit? Who you sitting with? Guys in the chat. Who are you going with?
On the night, I'm going for Magomed Ankalaev.
Absolutely. However, the rule applies for both of these guys. They actually have a beard and no tash. So where do you put your money on? It's difficult, isn't it? I guess.
Draw then.
Yeah, you got to draw to appendix. Oh, that's it. It was appendix 6 of chapter 5 manual book from Neurospace Science that Sadiq put together, and he said if you feel like you're gonna possibly have a stroke by trying to pronounce the name, then you go with that fighter. Johnny Walker, easy enough to say. Yeah. Magomed might take a couple of attempts, so yeah, okay. You know what I mean? All right, that's how it works. Okay, back onto the next fight on the card. We're at the co-main, ladies and gentlemen, and this one is fire. Is this the fight you never knew you wanted? Before this was going to be Costa against, it was going to be Costa against Khamzat Chimaev. Of course, Costa kept falling out on the cards. We now have Kamaru Usman against Khamzat Chimaev, and this was something that was long anticipated, even at the welterweight division. Something that we thought would be a good fight when there was a belt on the line. Now we're getting this as a co-main. You know, are we being spoiled? I don't know. So, real quickly on this one, Ash, if I get some thoughts from you, you know, you said already this is a fight that you like to see.
Yes.
Do you think it's going to be competitive going to duration, or do you reckon it's going to be a walkthrough?
Yeah, no, this is a thing for me. I put a video out earlier just to say, because there was a lot of sort of and ahhing around this fight, because
Usmaning and Kamaring.
I'm in an ahhing. People are just sort of saying, "Oh, Usman shouldn't have taken this fight. He's going to do nothing for him in the middleweight division. He shouldn't be taking the fight against the dog of Chimaev." And I'm thinking, right, you look at it this way. You've got Chimaev, obviously, that's quite hyped, right? And then who's the middleweight champion? Sean Strickland. Who is Kamaru Usman dominated? Sean Strickland. So again, if Kamaru Usman goes in there and beats Chimaev, he's arguably got a case there to fight Strickland, maybe after Duplessis, if not before Duplessis. Who knows? So if you look at it that way, where if Usman goes in there and stops Chimaev, in my eyes, I think he's like, surely does he not fight for the belt against Strickland because he's already beaten Strickland? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a case that I threw out there. But yeah, I've seen several videos of Chimaev training. Obviously, this is the middleweight division where he doesn't have to cut so much weight.
Yeah,
so he's going to be more powerful, more stronger than he was at welterweight. So,
and he was a problem.
He
at
was
welterweight.
a beast at welterweight.
Yeah,
so he's going to be an absolute animal at middleweight. So they've both got great takedown defense. I think this could be like Kamaru Usman versus Kobe Covington, where maybe the wrestling counters each other out.
Yeah,
but I think if Chimaev gets a hold of him, I think it's game over. But, yeah.
I hit that. Look, fair enough, absolutely. And Khamzat Chimaev is going to be somewhat shooting in there aggressively. I think for Kamaru Usman, especially how we saw him up against Rocky, he did assume center octagon. He came in there to take the real estate. He didn't allow Rocky to come to him. And I feel like getting Khamzat to go backwards might be a smart idea too. I mean, he's not going to allow Khamzat to take the center octagon without a fight. And I feel like he's really going to bring it to him. Could that be dangerous? Could that be wise? I'm not entirely sure yet, to be honest with you, but I do think it could be a good scrap to go distance. I do think because with Burns, that was a great fight. I watched it, Burns, Khamzat Chimaev. I was sitting here last night, watching that back, and I was just gassed. I was just reanimated all over again because the fight was so good, and generally it was so good, so good. I worry that Kamaru Usman is going to deliver anything of that kind of scale. Granted, that fight was at welterweight, I believe. It was at welterweight. So that more power is going to be thrown in this one. Look, people confident on Khamzat here in the chats. I've got some big things to consider for this one.
Keep coming through. TMM says, I've got some big things to consider for this one. Exactly. There's so much stylistically we have to go through, and there's so many points on so many aspects in this fight that we need to look at. Like we just mentioned one, which was the wrestling. They've both got great takedown defense. I think whoever initiates the takedown or the grappling first could come out on top. But like I said, I think if Chimaev takes a hold of him, all I can see is Usman on his back. I just don't know. Like, look, it might counter each other out. But the most important thing for me in this fight, and if I was Usman and they offered me this fight, there'd be one stipulation in this fight that would be the main factor for me to accept it. And that would be I want it 5 rounds. Because we've seen Khamzat Chimaev gas in 3 rounds. So if Kamaru Usman can make Khamzat Chimaev work for these takedowns, then it could be that's why I mean if it was 5 rounds, it would be very, very interesting. We know Kamaru Usman can go for days, and that was a welterweight. So we're going to see. Like I know I'm saying that about Chimaev as well, but
this is the first time.
One stipulation for me.
First time we've seen Usman actually do 3 rounds in like 5 years.
Yeah, mate, you're 100% right. Yeah,
it's been a long time.
Yes.
No, it's just what he's used to. But then could we see a different Usman because of that? Could we see someone who's going to come out with a higher intensity?
Yeah, no, you're right, exactly. And that's another factor you want to play into it. Every time Chimaev's has fought, he's the one pushing the pace. He's the one that's always on the front foot. But flip it around, when Kamaru Usman fights, he's the one that's always on the front foot and always pressuring.
And now he's got 3 rounds to do it, so he can probably do it at a higher intensity. There is so much you got to consider to this as well. I noticed in that fight against Rocky when I saw Usman going in there, he was kind of a binary striker. Like he didn't set up his power strikes too much. He kind of threw him out there 1 or 2 or maybe ones. And I kind of wanted to either set it up or train a few more. With Khamzat, he set up his uppercuts beautifully. And I think that's one move that he did constantly against Burns could probably be a huge turning point for this fight because Usman ducked his head a couple of times against Rocky. He got a knee to the face.
Yes, and he had that knee as well.
He did one particular time. He likes to kind of like strike and use the duck to get out of there. And I just feel like those bolo uppercuts from Khamzat Chimaev will be ringing his bell all day long. So, there's just one particular weapon that I think is going to be effective for Chimaev. It will will be those uppercuts in the close range. But that's what he does so well, Chimaev. He sets up his striking. Usman, what I'd like to see for him in order to have a better chance of this fight is from the set up striking a little bit more. Hopefully, Trevor Whitman's been in his ear on about it.
No. Henry Woofed has been in his corner.
Henry, of course. All right.
But yeah, Raphael says this one's going to be a test for Khamzat. Again, I do agree. I think it will be a test. But as I said, all depends who initiates that takedown first, in my opinion. Yaski says Chimaev all day, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then we've got TMM with a good comment. They're going to come up slow. For some reason, they're taking ages to pop up. It's
fast for me.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. It's just slow for me then. So TMM says Usman has an incredible high takedown defense, but that's against welterweights. You can't compare Kobe or Leon with Khamzat's wrestling. Also, Kamaru has suffered numerous takedowns with cage grabs before. There you go. You've said it in mind, and this is why I'm glad you've joined us. You picked these little gems out.
Yeah, look, this brilliant. It's real said, but also as well with Khamzat Chimaev, size wise and just frame wise, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult and daunting for Kamaru Usman. But also that's what I wanted to say. Khamzat Chimaev, let's look at his history. Let's look at the record of these guys. So, coming into this, he's not pussyfoot around it. Khamzat Chimaev is a feared fighter, and I think it comes from the fact that in his whole UFC career, he's only lost one round. Do you know what I mean? And he was just talking just now about him being tested. I love that fight against Burns because it was a test we needed to see. And we can learn so much from that test. What we didn't know before that fight was, does Khamzat Chimaev have a chin? We didn't know that before the fight. Now we do. We do know it now. And then secondly is, can Khamzat Chimaev go the distance? Can he go 3 rounds? Because we never knew that before. Now we do. Well, we learned so much from that, and we owe it to Burns for showing us that. Like we do. I think that was
it's very
great.
true. Like
good
you said,
fight.
like it was an eye opener, and now you've got to go back to that fight to sort of see the Khamzat Chimaev that some other people don't see. People just think, oh, Khamzat Chimaev dog, but that fight was a massive eye opener, and seeing if Khamzat Chimaev doesn't get the takedown, it's kind of stifling his game plan because we saw Burns hurt him. So if Burns gonna hurt him, what's Kamaru Usman gonna do to him on the feet?
Yeah, look, they kind of stood there and they threw, and it was such a good fight. But yeah, it's Khamzat Chimaev's ability to now he's got a chin, and that I think is something that's gonna be quite important because if Kamaru Usman lands one or a few strikes, fantastic, that's great, but I feel like Chimaev really is going to respond in a different way and probably catch him with a couple of opportunities. Let's get to the gauges. What do you reckon?
Yeah, quick couple of chats because they're flying through. Just read that one there. So Yaski says, luckily it's a 3 rounds, though, especially with the pace of Khamzat. Exactly. And I think of the pace of Kamaru Usman as well. I think that could cause Khamzat problems as well. Imran Khan says, if it does it goes to a close decision, don't think the UFC would give it to Usman. Meant to say Usman, who is at the tail of the end, fighting at the end of his career. Agreed. TMM. Usman has some of the best straight line striking in MMA. His jab and cross combo is lethal, and Khamzat's tendency to not move his head off the center line is worrying, and that's exactly what I was on about, buddy, about when it was an eye opener of him fighting Gilbert Burns, because Khamzat couldn't get his game plan of obviously the takedown, tried a couple of times, didn't work, and then he just got reckless with his striking.
Counterable.
You said it there perfectly. You don't want to do that against someone like Kamaru Usman. So again, this is what I'm on about Kamaru Usman's obviously fighting upper weight as well as Chimaev. They're both going to be bigger. But as long as Kamaru Usman can keep Khamzat at bay and stuff a couple of takedowns, it could be a long night for Chimaev. Last couple of comments and we'll get to the gauges. George Mary's in the house. Welcome in, George Mary.
Yes, George.
Welcome in, sir.
Welcome in, man. Thanks for chiming in. It's great to have you, bro.
Yes, lads. Good evening. Sorry, I'm late. Late. Bills to pay. Mrs. Keep happy. Yeah, you can say that again, mate.
Of course. Yeah.
Yaski says, but then again, this is Usman on short notice. True. George May says Usman via split decision. Ooh, hey, dicey.
That could be good. I hear what you're saying there. I would love to see that kind of. And you know what? TMM, you make me think differently. I love it. I do. I really do. Because you're right. Yeah, with Khamzat Chimaev, he's counterable. I saw that against Burns. And you're definitely right about the straight striking of Usman. Those 1-2s are pretty good. It's just, like I said, the setup he needs. It's going to be quite interesting. Yeah, I'll have to see some improvements on both. Striking, who are we going to give it to?
Usman.
All right. And then grappling, who do we give that to?
Oh, Christ.
It's a tough one, isn't it? I think they both use it. Khamzat Chimaev use it far more effectively. Yeah, but Khamzat...
Yes. Yeah, no, you're right. You're spot on. Usman will use it just for a takedown, won't he?
Yeah, and Khamzat Chimaev uses it so much more effectively. It's great.
Yeah, he'll use it to get the finish. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so we'll go then to Khamzat with that one. And then power. Oh, I want to give it to Khamzat, to be honest. How do you feel about it?
I've only seen him starch one person.
Khamzat Chimaev?
Yeah.
You got to kind of look at the nature of which he starches people. Like, he just kind of puts hand on them and then they fall asleep.
Yeah, I know, but like, how many knockouts have you seen him have? Like, you watched? I've only seen one, and that was Jared Mershoff.
Yeah, okay.
Usman's flatlined Masvidal.
Yeah.
Flatlined Gilbert Burns. And we were saying how much of a test Gilbert Burns gave Chimaev. Who else is he flatlined? Kobe Covington dropped him a couple of times.
Yeah,
but again, he does hit hard, and like this is what again we've not actually questioned. He had power at welterweight. What's his power going to be like a middleweight? We've not even thought about that.
Yeah, look, it can transcend.
And like I think TM or I think it was TM that said about his jab. He does have a good jab. He's always had a good jab. Imagine how effective his jab is. Like with like he's not dehydrated or anything. He's a fully hydrated Kamaru Usman. That's scary, man.
It's a terrible.
I'd give the power to Kamaru Usman. Me,
you would?
I would, yeah. Shoot me if you want, but I'm going Kamaru Usman power.
Okay. We'll do it. I'm just trying to make the argument for Khamzat, and look, he's got power in both hands, but also the way that he was able to drag Burns across the floor as well in the grappling, like the power.
Yeah, that's strength though, not power.
Yeah, he's got the strength. He's got that. He just mauls people. If he doesn't, he does. Yeah, he kind of the way that he's like a bear in a way. The way he's like is overly physically aggressive with people. The power is in him. You know, it's there. It maybe just didn't go through the hands to the chin, but he expressed in a way he ragdolls people across the octagon. And I think he does that far more than Usman. He might struggle with some takedowns from time to time. Chimaev just picks up, smashes. He smashes. So that's why I would go Chimaev. But we'll sit with Usman. Speed, who gets that?
I've got to go Khamzat. Yeah, so I didn't mean to click on that comment, but I've clicked on it now while you're having a think. Tim Murmur says, power is Khamzat for me, minus the Masvidal KO. There's no argument. The Burns finish was because the jab was perfectly timed.
Wealth of knowledge, this guy. Wealth of knowledge.
And then another one, Khamzat has one shot slept.
GM3.
And Aliskerov. Oh, yeah, we forgot about the Aliskerov KO, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's just the power. You can see it before, and he's gone up a weight class too. All right, if you don't mind me, I will change that. But
I'll stick with Kamaru. I'm going to stick with my opinion. You can change it
because I do think it would be Chimaev. But then speed wise, I wouldn't. I mean, I'll probably go Kamaru Usman as well. I'm thinking about that. I'll go Kamaru Usman for speed because I'm thinking about the Masvidal knockout. That was rapid. Although,
but TMM says he does see our argument for giving Usman power. I've just seen more of it. I've just seen more of Usman use his power. Obviously, we've seen Khamzat he's powerful in the sense of like a power sort of power double legs or a power like throw, if you know what I mean. But then I think that's strength. I think if you were going to say who's stronger, Khamzat Chimaev is way stronger.
Yeah, you got it in the grappling. I think. I've seen potential with the power of Chimaev more than I might have seen him use it through punching. But he's a powerful guy. And he finds that right hand and gets it on the target. Woo. Speed though, we're getting on speed now, and let's do this. I mean, cardio, yeah, right, fair enough. Kamaru Usman gets there all day long, which now leads us down to the side of speed. And yeah, Khamzat's fast. I think the Nigerian Nightmare is rapid, but then Rocky gave him problems because of speed. Rocky, Leon Edwards was faster than Kamaru Usman, which then kind of puts in respect of Kamaru Usman's speed.
I'd definitely say that Khamzat is quicker. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we can do that.
Last quick comment. George Murray says the uppercut KO by Khamzat on that fighter who's making his UFC, which is that Aliskerov.
Yeah.
He says making his debut was dirty, but as Ash is saying, Usman is powerful. So he's kind of agreeing. But obviously saying that Khamzat is as well.
That uppercut's going to come back tonight, and it's going to land on Usman again. I'm telling you, not tonight. On
agree
the
with the power for Usman, but speed is Chimaev says it. Imran Khan, and then George tops it off with
smash
speed
everybody.
Plus, velocity equals smash.
Smash everybody.
Love that.
Wow. Okay, well, look, there's the gauges. At the moment, it looks like Khamzat Chimaev in the blue corner has 3, and you got Usman in the red corner with just a 2. Now, is that marry up? Is that where you would go on the night as well?
Oh, mate, this is the toughest pick of the night for me. I really don't know who to go for because, like you said, it just. I think if Chimaev, like I will keep repeating myself, I'm boring myself. Just if Khamzat Chimaev gets a hold of Usman, I just can't sit. I don't know. It just all depends. If Usman can stop the takedowns, it will be a long night for Chimaev because Burns gave him a long night. So
yeah. I mean, if it's a 5-round, bit of a better argument.
If
really,
it's 5 rounds, I'll be going Usman.
Yeah, hands down. All right. Well, like that, I'll go Chimaev on the night. I think that was easier.
There's no point you doing a pick, mate, because you're just going to change on the night. So.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Maybe I will. No, but I'm confident. I'll give you the reasons why. I mean, if I change on a night, I'll give you a reason why as well. It's not necessarily luck. I'll give you the reason why. Either it's just had to do it because you guys were beating me, or actually because of an intelligent decision behind it. But either way, you'll get a reason why. Okay, next fight up, we're going to go to the main event itself. We're looking down a barrel of Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. This is happening again. Now, this is exciting. Wasn't one was going to get a few changes on this card, isn't it? But it's the one that we've got. And you know what? We'll take what we got. Let's look at the numbers. Record here, 24-1-0, 26-2-0 in the blue corner. Height-wise, yes, you got a taller guy in the red corner, Makhachev. And then you got a smaller guy in the blue corner, which is Volkanovski, 5'6" to his 5'10". Don't be fooled, though, because a reach advantage is actually in favor of Volkanovski. He's got 71.5-inch reach. And then you got in the red corner, I keep on calling him Khamzat, Makhachev, who's got 70.5 inches. So I think that was the story of the first fight as well. It was very much Volkanovski's ability to change stance, but also get in the right positions. He was still landing on Chimaev, and he was probably, Makhachev, and he was probably there thinking, how's a smaller guy hitting me? Because usually with people that are that much smaller than you, you would have the reach advantage. So it's a bit of a deception, and it's to be fair. What do you think of the first fight, Ash?
It was an interesting one. A lot of people were saying it was close. I actually hands down had Islam winning. But what I will say is I think if there was 2 more rounds, Volkanovski was kind of taken over because he had a very, 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 very good 5th round.
Yeah, he had like a next win.
I think if Volkanovski can start as he ended in this fight, it could be an interesting one because, but then again, fatigue was kind of in play in that 5th round where Islam was tired. And obviously, Volkanovski's got that grit in him, hasn't he? So there's me saying he can start if he starts the way the 5th round ended, but it's a different story because obviously you got a fresh Islam in round 1.
For me, it came down, was it 3rd round or 4th round when Islam got 4-minute control time? He just basically held him and held him and held him and held him. If that fight was stood up because there was no activity and it was just holding him down, which effectively could have happened, you might have seen that he's trying to get submission off, but he was just holding him there and he was burning the clock. And that wasted valuable time that Alexander Volkanovski needed. And he got so frustrated in that position as well. And they gave the round to him. Why? Because, he had the most control time. But that was a bit of a nothing round. Nothing really happened. No one gave damage. If anything, Volkanovski landed more strikes for sure. Yeah. But he had the dominance. He was controlling. It was all Makhachev. Stand that round up and let them go again, that would have been a different outcome to the fight, I think. Volkanovski would have put a punctuation there.
Yeah, definitely right. I think, like you said, when Volk was on top, He was always trying to advance. He was always punching.
Yeah.
If he wasn't striking, like I said, he was trying to advance and he was
Yeah.
looking for either a submission. But yeah, 100%.
Mm.
I remember that round now where he didn't do much.
And
He was
that's
just
the
trying to secure the
reason.
round, wasn't he?
Yeah. So you think for this one, advice for Volkanovski would be get going a little bit faster earlier.
Yeah, 100%. But then again, like I said, easier said than done because you got a
Yeah.
fresh Islam in round 1 as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, look, exactly that. It was a great scrap though for what it lasted. I fully enjoyed it. A bit frustrated by that one round of 4-minute control time. The audience was as well.
yeah.
But yeah, it was all
George
really
is calling
great.
you out, saying Swedish size, showing his favorite fighter because you kept on saying Khamzat.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. I was gonna say Makhachev ain't Swedish.
Highly anticipated rematch, but still wish UFC didn't rush it like this for a short notice replacement. This pound for pound champ versus champ rematch deserves its own proper build up. And this is exactly what Jordan said in the earlier last week. And
It's wise words.
I 1,000,000% agree. And this is
However,
why Sai asked me the question as we come live, which fight would I prefer? I would have preferred Charles Oliveira.
yeah.
We've got Alexander Volkanovski. I know it's a great fight, but like you said, this fight deserved more hype than it's had, if you get what I mean.
Agreed. But the other thing is, who else? Dariush.
Well, they had the backup, didn't they? They had Gamrot, didn't they? So
no, yeah, but if Dariush got his last win, if Dariush won the
1,000%
last
agree
fight, then that
Gamrot
should have
was
happened.
if Dariush would, but he would have beaten Charles Oliveira, so he would have been there, he would have been there in the first
It would
place.
have been anyway, yeah.
But yeah,
Well, maybe he should
I
have.
think he didn't.
Maybe
Doesn't sell, does he?
No, yeah, true.
Gamrot, I mean, that's why Gamrot's not there.
Gamrot doesn't. Dariush doesn't really sell, to be fair, either.
Mm.
No, everyone does. Gamrot maybe less so then, but unless it's a European or Polish card, it's good. But yeah, look with Dariush, yeah, you're right. I think because what happened was there was Kim and Makhachev were supposed to happen before, and it never did happen. Makhachev got favored. He got an opportunity, and he took a fight which he never really should have had the opportunity to take, but he did and was able to. I think that should have come back around for Dariush again. He didn't really deserve it, but he had an opportunity. But he should have tossed him the opportunity to have it as well. This fight, look, I'm not mad at this fight.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going to go with the whole thing of like this should have had a bit more of a build in its own sort of time, maybe Dubai again next year. Put Dariush in.
Yeah, no, you're right. I definitely think there should have been a lot more hype for this fight. But yeah, like you said, there was no one else. I don't think Gamrot would have sold. And I think that's why they went with Volkanovski. But again, they've done Gamrot dirty by not giving him the fight. He was a backup. He was there for that reason and that reason alone. If one of the fighters of Charles Oliveira Islam pulled out, that's why Gamrot was there. And then a fighter pulls out, and they're like, "Oh, no, we're going to go for you, Gamrot. We're going to go for someone else." And then again, arguably, Justin Gaethje could have been there again. Justin Gaethje would probably sell a lot more than Gamrot.
Yeah,
because Justin Gaethje's not fought Islam. So, yes, he has, hasn't he? No, he's fought Charles. He's fought Charles.
Yeah. All right, quick question, and then we'll go into the gauges. What's this chat up here? We've got George Mary saying Volk will win. He now knows Islam's plan and felt the summer pressure. Volk will keep pressure and set the pace. He did in the first one as well, set the pace beautifully. Islam is in round 5 was happy. That final bell went off, bringing home the Dingo dollars. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I never forget. Even when Volk was in that rear naked position, he was laughing and hitting him in the face.
It was
that
so
was obvious. I think that was
frustrated.
round 4. But yeah, round 5, he was dominating in round 5.
Came out like a bat out of hell, didn't he? And Islam did not want that smoke. You can tell. That's what you say. A couple more rounds at the end of that, and we would have had a decider for sure. Okay, so the question I wanted to ask you was: do you think it's going to pan out similar to the first time round, or do you reckon it's going to be something different? If so, what? And then we'll get into the gauges.
Like you said, I think Volkanovski has a great fighter IQ. He's a very smart fighter. He's come out and said he knows where he went wrong, and he's making these adjustments. I know Volk's obviously taking his fight on short notice, but I don't think he's a fighter that is never out of the gym or is never out of fighting. So I think he's always game as they come.
Yeah.
Obviously, a game plan coming into the fight and a camp would have obviously been better. But I think Volkanovski could make the right adjustments. He could actually win this and shock a lot of people.
Yeah. Those external factors. Do you know how long his camp was for this?
I don't know.
No. As
Like
it's
9
not,
days.
wouldn't have been a full one, not a full
9
camp for
days, I
sure.
think.
Would he have just been ready and constant? So there's external factors you got to consider into it as well that could probably be working against him just a little bit. But yeah, look, no, fair enough. Fair enough. I think it could be quite similar to the first one.
Yeah.
I reckon if he's saying that he needs to work on his weaknesses, it really was down to just 1 or 2 minor errors.
Yeah.
The fact that he took us back in that 4th round, if he had just not joked around a little bit as he tried crawling to the corner of the octagon, if he just cut that out, that tiny little bit out, it could have been a very different decision. And it's just these small things that you just don't think would actually add up in the end, and it just did.
100%. Well, don't forget to drop a like on the video if you haven't done so already.
Yes.
Last couple of comments, and then we're getting to the gauges. Imran Khan says Dustin Poirier agreed to step up, but the UFC went with Volk. Yeah, I'm baffled why they offered Dustin Poirier the fight. I don't know if they offered Justin Gaethje the fight because Justin Gaethje knocked out Dustin, so that was a bit of a funny one for me. George Murray says Gamrot couldn't sell sand to the Arabs, let alone sell tickets for, for UFC 29. Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Exactly why they didn't go with Gamrot. Like, I think they felt the need to put him as the backup, but why put him back up if you're not going to do it? Like, I 1,000,000% agree that he wouldn't have sold.
I never really understand those things. No, couldn't sell ice to an Eskimo, couldn't sell sand to an Arab. I'm like, yeah, of course you can't, because I got enough of it already. So why'd I buy your sand when I got like thousands underneath my feet? I always kind of find that quite funny.
Raphael says I called it the rematch because Volkanovski become one of his biggest moments ever, and he understands the homework, grappling, and striking is his strength. So just basically saying about how Volkanovski will maybe have a good game plan coming into this and make the right adjustments.
Yep, hear that. Okay, we're into the gauges right now. We're looking at striking.
I've got the fighters up for this one.
Yeah, no, because the UFC have these ones, but they don't have the other ones. That's what I'm saying. The thing doesn't stretch down and I can't put them through because their website's scammy. I've been trying for 2 days now, and I was hoping they're done by now, but they did not. Okay, so it is striking. Who I reckon it's Volk.
Got to go Volk as well.
Yep. I mean, the way he switched up his stances just adds to his vocabulary when it comes to striking. Okay, or should I say vocabulary? Grappling. Who do we give that to? I think we saw it most effectively from Islam in the last time out. Power. Islam had the power.
And this is I got absolutely ridiculed for having Islam power last time. And I think they both wobbled each other. I think I went Islam, and the chat like went at me because I said Islam for power.
Yeah.
But I think didn't Islam drop Volk?
He did. He took a knee. He did. But also, Volk acknowledged every time Islam landed flush. Whenever Volk would land flush, Islam wouldn't acknowledge it. So it did kind of work against him. But I like that kind of style from Volk. I'm the same. If I get hit from a clean shot, I'm like, good shot. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a good shot. Well done. Do you know, and that's exactly what Volk was like in there. He was like, yeah, good shot. Well done. Like he knew when he got hit clean, and he made everyone know about it, which probably worked against him because Islam, such a poker face. He got hit clean a few times from Volk. He didn't make it so obvious. Although sometimes you can't help it. He did kind of fall to the floor. Not like a full-on downed, but he kind of, you know, you kind of see it in a posture.
I don't want to get myself shot in the foot, so I'm going to stay clear of the power.
No, I'm agreeing with you, man. I think Makhachev has the power. Volk had some power as well, but it is just because he's of that class. Volk is going up a weight class. You talk about power having to transcend now when you got someone like Islam who's just natural and in amongst that, and he's got a Dagestani muscle twitch fibers as well. Like it's just speed. We saw it from Volk last time. I'm sick of it.
That is the most confident.
And cardio, Volk.
And then cardio, Volk as well.
All day long. Most confident on those two, speed and cardio. And
striking, I'm probably confident on as well, just because he mixed it up so well. But like you said, I think we did this last time. I think Islam only had striking. Striking and grappling. And then Volk had everything else. But the thing that got Islam the win was just the grappling.
Yeah, and I was just about to say that as well. Like grappling for Islam won him that 4th round, then that won him the fight because he just held Volk still, body locked against the cage, and he grinded down that clock. There was nothing else. Volk couldn't get any of his offense off. Couldn't get his speed. Couldn't get used with his cardio or his strike. He couldn't use what was working for him. Yeah. So look, fundamentally, I do think it was important that time round, but it was an opportunity that Islam stole. Now, can Volk not give him that opportunity? I think this time around, if he's just going to mind his P's and Q's, he might just be able to get through this 5-round fight, winning it once again. It was going that way until we got caught. He got trapped on the ground even.
Right, quick couple of comments.
Yes, do.
If I clicked on, no, I've done that one. George Murray says, Justin says he couldn't make the weight. Justin Gaethje said he couldn't make the weight. That's fair enough. They called Gaethje first, but he said he couldn't make the weight. Again, just repeating what George said. George, not enough preparation time. That's fair enough. Imran Khan, they did offer. Repeating. You guys are on it. You guys are on it.
Yeah.
TMM says Poirier said he wanted it, but obviously the fight isn't intriguing enough. TMM says with regards to Gamrot, although he's the backup isn't the guaranteed replacement to the main event. It's the replacement the night before the fight. Yeah, and I think that's what JK alluded to that the other week as well, just to say it was just like you said, if someone misses weight on like literally the night before or anything like that. George Murray says, Volk,
I mean, safe to say Gamrot is still the backup should this not have happened. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So he was the backup to the fight. Yeah. He's still the backup to any other scenario. They can't conjure in time one night before.
And then Justin Gaethje is the backup to the backup.
Yeah, backup to the backup bet.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, George May says Volk used to be a rugby league player. Those blokes see different breed. Them blokes different breed. I think Volk is stronger. I think Islam just used his height advantage to throw more weight about. And then TMM says, as it wasn't. Oh, let me just.
The night before, Gamrot wasn't needed.
Yeah, exactly. And then Imran Khan says, let's not overlook the fact that the less than standard recovery period in Perth that affected Islam's cardio for the championship rounds. Standard recovery period this time in Abu Dhabi. Again, great comment there from Imran Khan. Yeah, and then Triple B is in the house.
What's up, Brian?
Hope you're doing well, Brian.
Good to see you, bro. Thanks for chiming in, brother.
Don't forget to drop a like on the video. I haven't done so already.
That's awesome. Great show. I fully enjoyed that. Start to stop. I think we've got really underneath the skin of every fighter on the card that we needed to. I think we've been able to give full aspect as to the advantages, disadvantages, who's going to be up, who's going to be down, even looking at the odds as well, what made sense, what didn't. But look, I'm
before we do wrap up, just a couple of shout outs in the prelims. Obviously, we've got our boy and ATF alumni Nathaniel Wood fighting in the prelims again. Fingers crossed he gets the W. And then another ATF alumni, Victor Henry, he's fighting in the prelims. So again, big shout out to you. Hopefully you're doing well. And then our boy Mohammed Makhachev in the headliner of prelims, taking on Size Boy of Tim Elliott. So interested to see how he does in that one.
Hey,
he's fighting your boy Tim Elliott.
Stay away from the grappling, Mohammed. I'm telling you.
Stay away from that wrestling. Tim Elliott has got you.
Nah, Mohammed is going to be sick. I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. Next time we'll be back. We'll be ahead of UFC 295. That'll be Jones versus Miocic, and that's going to be in November. So that is the next pay-per-view where we'll be doing our breakdowns. But until then, do chime in for this weekend's event. It is a full watch along. We're going to be there from start to stop. It's it's going to be a 6-hour one for us, isn't it? It's going to be a full on effort and grind for us. Yeah, it's going to be good.
Hopefully, see all of your wonderful comments that have been in there. See you for the like Si said, the full watch along. Yeah, from start to stop.
Yeah, we got the spinning wheel back. We're gonna have different guests come into the show as well. You guys get your chance to be on screen, so that would be pretty fun. So get your comments in there as well while we're there. Don't watch alone. Do watch along. And look, it's gonna be a great day of events. It's gonna be to around 6 p.m. for us. Well, for hours, isn't it?
Yeah, the main card will be 6 p.m.
Yeah, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. upwards. All right, guys, you have been beautiful. I've been Si, and this has been Ash. Stay sexy.